Hey there guys, welcome to another video. In this video I wanted to give you a comparison between my old laptop and my new laptop. So the old one that I'll be selling is a 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro. So the basics here. So we have a 15.4 inch diagonal screen. It has a resolution of 2880 by 1800. It is LED backlit with IPS and has a native resolution of 220 pixels per inch. And it also has a brightness rating of 500 nits and does include the wide color gamut as well. This one does include the 2.9 gigahertz Intel Core i7, so this is a 7th generation Intel processor. Has 16 gigs of 2133 megahertz LPDDR3 RAM. It does include a dedicated graphics Radeon Pro 460 at 4 gigs. And this one specifically has 512 gig PCIe based SSD. Okay, just give you a quick walk around of the machine itself. It does include a butterfly keyboard here. We do have flanked by 2 large speaker grills and a very large trackpad. And the trackpad got larger when they redesigned this back in 2016. It does include this OLED touch bar here. And as you can see, it is a seamless touch bar. So you do not have a separate escape key. Everything is on the touch bar. The only thing that's separated is a power button right here, which also is your Touch ID key. On the side of the machine, you'll see that we do have 2 Thunderbolt USB-C 3.1 ports. We have more on the other side, as well as a 3.5mm headset jack. So here's kind of a comparison between the footprint. The 16 inch is only slightly bigger, and obviously this is kind of a bad comparison because I do have a cover on this. I buy a cover each time I buy one of these because I don't want to dent it or hurt it, because they are very expensive machines. So when this 15 inch initially came out, it cost $2,800, and that was how much it was from Apple. When I purchased it from B&H Photo, and they sometimes have good sales on MacBooks, so definitely check them out. But I got this for $2,000 plus tax, so that was a much better deal. So as I said, it has the 512 gigs of storage, you have the 16 gigs of RAM, you have that dedicated GPU, and Mac OS. A quick look at the exterior of the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So it is the same space gray color that these 2017 is. However, as you can see, I do have a cover on this one. You do have that kind of mirror finish. I'm not sure you can even see that. Mirror finish Apple logo there. And as far as the pricing is concerned on this one, so this is the upgraded model. So this is a 2.9 Core i9 processor with 1 terabyte of storage. This one specifically costs $2,800 retail. I did purchase it refurbished from Apple for $2,379. However, if you wanted to get the base model is about $2,300, and I did see it on Apple's refurb website for $2,039. B&H Video also offers pretty good sales, so as I spoke in the last clip about this one, I did get this one with a good deal from B&H Video. Currently, they have a sale on this specific model for $2,500, and the low-run model, I believe, is $2,100. So we do have this beautiful 16-inch screen. This has a native resolution of 3072 by 1920. This is an LED backlit panel with IPS, and it has a pixel density of 226 pixels per inch. It has a brightness of 500 nits, wide color gamut P3, true tone, and has a refresh rate of up to 60 hertz. This specific model is the slightly upgraded model, so this one does have the 2.3 gigahertz 8-core Intel Core i9 processor. It does have 16 gigs of 2667 megahertz DDR4 memory. This one does include, it does have the integrated graphics here, UHD 630 1536 megabytes. It does have dedicated graphics here, so as you can see, we have AMD Radeon Pro 5500M, and this one has 4 gigs of GDDR6 graphics memory. So this specific model here has a very similar look to the 15-inch. However, you will notice that the keyboard is completely different. They went back to a scissor switch mechanism, which I'm pretty sure most of us are happy about. Another another change they made here is the escape key is now separated and it is a physical key versus on the 2017 where it was integrated into the touch bar here. And then the Touch ID key is also separated from the touch bar, which is a little interesting. They did make it look a little bit more seamless on the 2017 inch versus this, but I'm not too upset about it. As you can see, I kept the same settings, so I kept my same button settings here. We do have those same speaker grills flanked on each side. We do have that large trackpad there still. Some big improvements they made here are this does have a better microphone array, and this does have much better speakers. And obviously this one's going to be a lot faster than my current machine. This one on the side does have those two USB-C 3.1 Thunderbolt ports, and we do have those on the other side as well, along with that 3.5mm headset jack. So in Geekbench here, the 15-inch 2017 gets a single core score of 831 and the multi-core score of 3571. On the 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro, it gets a single core score of 1063 and it gets a multi-core score of 6633. So that's quite an improvement there. Our specific processor here is the Core i7-7820HQ for the 15-inch, and this is a quad-core processor with 8 threads. On the MacBook Pro, the 16-inch, this one has the 8-core 16-thread processor, and it does run at 2.3 gigahertz. And this one has 16 gigs of RAM also, 1333 megahertz DDR4. For our next benchmark, we're going to be doing Cinebench and letting that go here. And as you can see here, the 16-inch is already ahead by quite a bit. The 16-inch has already completed the test. We have a score of 3,337 points, while the 2017 15-inch is still going. And here it is showing here. So it is the Intel Core i9-9880H, and that's its comparison with a couple of different processors here. So, and just a little while later, it finally finished on the 2017, and our score here is 1,708. And here it is down here. So we have the 7820HQ and the 7700K beat it. I mean, this thing is, the 16-inch demolished this computer in the Cinebench test. All right, so now we're gonna run Unigine Heaven on both of these, and we'll be running them in Extreme to see how well they do. For some odd reason, they decided to open windowed. I'm not sure about that, but you can already tell the difference between. We're gaining 53 frames per second here, and only 32 per second here. You can see how choppy it is on this one, on the 2017. All right, so we're currently benchmarking here, and our average here for the 2017 is 18 frames per second. Our minimum 12, max 42. 16-inch, average 47, minimum 31, and max 112. All right, and our final scores are, for the 2017, frames per second 20, score 504, minimum 12.2, max 42.3. And on the 16-inch, frames per second is 51.7, score 1301, minimum 31, maximum 112. So I would say that the 2017 got demolished by the 16-inch. So that's incredible. And that is just that's a 2-generation bump. So we went from 7th generation Intel to 9th generation, and I'm not sure how many generations apart the actual graphics are, but wow. Huge difference. And now we're doing the Blackmagic disk speed test just to show the difference in the speed. So we're having write speeds of 1800 megabits per second and read speeds of 1500 megabits per second. Nothing to scoff at. That's really, really good. However, when you come over to the 16-inch, we're getting almost 3000 megabits per second on the read and write. That's absolutely insane. So huge difference in our read and write speeds on both machines. All right, Alright, now I want to give you a quick comparison between the keyboards. I'm going to type something really quick on both of them here in Word. We'll see how they sound. Now I want to give you a comparison between the speakers on these machines, and both are really good, but the 16-inch has a huge improvement in its speakers. So let's listen to the 2017 first. So the difference I notice, and I know it's hard to tell on a video, is that the 16-inch has much fuller sound. It envelopes you. It actually has a little bit more bass, not too much, but it's a fuller sound, and it just sounds better, and it fills a room more than the other ones. Now, I don't know the difference between the 18-inch, or I'm sorry, the 2018 and the 2019, but I think that it is still a stark difference between these two here. So I think the 16-inch has incredible speakers. Here's a test of the webcam on the 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro. So this one is not bad. I think it's only 720p, but this will give you an idea of the difference between the quality of the webcams on both the 2017 and the 2019. It's a test of the 16-inch MacBook Pro's webcam, so I believe it is also 720p, but you can definitely hear the difference in the microphone array that is on this computer. It is much, much better. Alright, so I just want to quickly give you my final thoughts on these two machines. I will say that the 16-inch is beautiful and amazing, and I'm so glad that Apple took into account that people like the traditional keyboard, and I'm so glad that they decided to make it better that way. This thing absolutely demolished the 2017 in all the benchmarks. It runs so well. The only thing I don't like personally is Catalina. Hopefully whatever the next version is, they improve upon it. Catalina seems to have a lot of pop-ups asking you to allow things, and it kind of reminds me of a certain other OS that you might remember named Vista, which did that a lot. So hopefully they kind of slow down on that. The 2017 has served me well. However, what I've noticed is that the 15-inch models, so all the 15-inch models that I've seen, they have gone down in price quite a bit. So if you are looking to get a new MacBook Pro or a used MacBook Pro, a 15-inch might not be a bad idea, considering the 16-inch kind of has killed the market for the 15-inch. This computer, when I sell it, may only be worth about $1,000 to $1,100, which kind of sucks as it's only 2 years old, and MacBooks usually retain their value pretty well. But I will say, if you're looking for a 15-inch right now, definitely go for one, because the prices of them are pretty low. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with the 16-inch. However, if you don't need performance, like crazy performance for gaming or anything like that, go for a 15-inch. This one is the one I use to render all my videos, and it has worked just fine for me. So it has given me no problems. Fast storage, fast processor. This 16-inch is basically double everything. So it has twice the performance, twice the storage, and I just wanted that for my personal use. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave me a like. And if you want to see more like this, please consider subscribing. I do try to post as many videos as I can throughout the weeks here. And if you have any questions, feel free to always leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching.